from my own values and the values of my clients. We're
Mm.
looking for people who want to be married, want to become a father, and have that traditional view of providing for their wife and children,
Are
as
they?
All
opposed
right, what's
to
going on? What's
interviewing
going
the
on, y'all?
men
Mm.
just
What's
based on
happening?
how they look.
How successful are they on
We are
getting
live.
that with looks, or do they have to give up the looks to get that?
I find that they have to give up the looks to get that.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, because Jacqueline, you mentioned specifically like your relationship, and you mentioned, because this is something you wanted to talk about was GBD, and one of the things you disagreed with was it's not necessarily important that you have genuine burning desire for a man at first, because you didn't with the guy you're currently with, but it was other things that brought you to him. So can you talk about that a little bit and what you mean?
Right. So I'm a big fan of Rich's book. I actually read it back in 2021. I listened to the audiobook, and one of the few things that I disagreed with is that genuine burning desire has to be there at first. Just because with my current gentleman that I am dating, he wasn't my physical.
All right, you guys. I was just watching this dope panel. I really don't like watching panels anymore. A lot of women are super toxic, and a lot of these guys on the panels are not checking them. They're just not checking them, and you can check them in a way to where they can't use a loophole of, oh, you're yelling and da da da. So we got your boy Rich Cooper over here. If you don't know who he is, then you don't watch very much content. You know what I'm saying? RP content. You know what I'm saying? There's a manosphere and there's a black and white. You know what I mean? There's black guys on the manosphere and there's white guys on the manosphere. And, they be hitting these subjects. Now, the reason why I like watching these, because Moth over here does not play. This guy over in the corner right here, this dude, he needs his own whatever. This dude does not play on here. They start talking reckless, he checks them every single time without having to write down any notes. You know what I'm saying? Now, some of the stuff that you hear him say, you might have heard your boy saying it, but listen, man, I just do what I do. I'm just a vessel, right? But this guy right here, he don't play around. And you see, there's a diverse panel here. You know what I'm saying? They got their diversity hire, the DIE right here. So they got the woman of color in there. And, you got a spectrum, and these are young women. You can obviously tell by their faces. I wouldn't say over 32. You know what I'm saying? And so you're getting the group that you need. And a lot of you guys are talking about Snow Bunny. So why they have all these black women on these panels without even having any Snow Bunnies don't make any sense when black guys are talking about we want Snow Bunnies. Well, we got to go ahead and move around a little bit, right? So what you're gonna see here, you see how black women handle things on the panels that we've watched and are watching, and how they're, abrasive, aggressive, woo woo. Now you're gonna see the opposite end of it, right? You're gonna see the passive aggressive. That's how white women like to do it. They're passive aggressive. They're saying things, just as abrasive as black women, but they're trying to do it in a polite way, which irritates me way more, man. It's like you're trying to outsmart me when it comes to you. Just say what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand it, right? So I like to break down the psychology of it and the deep dive. They will do it in a very monotone, very calm appearance, while on the inside they're screaming and hollering. And this is, but you got to know both sides of it. Y'all keep hollering Snow Bunny, Snow. You need to see the chameleon Snow Bunny as well. Y'all keep thinking it's just a black chicks. No, because you're used to this black chicks being abrasive and aggressive, right? I'm telling you, the aggressiveness is best. You know what's coming. This passive shit that they do, bro, I'm telling you, I was married to one. This passive shit, it after a while, it's way more, you know what I'm saying? It gets under your skin way more, right? And it's just the way they do it. So I want you guys to pay attention. Notice they're saying the same rhetoric the black women do. They're just doing it in a different way. But again, these are white dudes. They're used to it. They know how to handle that stuff or whatever. They're giving them the same energy back, right? This monotone, but still hitting them with the heat, right? Watch how they do it. Anyway, smash that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. What are you waiting for? Let's get right into it.
Physical type at first. I always preferred the Vin Diesel archetype, bald bodybuilder, and that's what my exes had also been, but the treatment wasn't there. I found that they were not very masculine, even though they looked very masculine and presented very alpha, as far as being, give, protect, and cherish. And so at first, with the gentleman I'm dating now, he is from India.
Always make sure that you keep in mind that these women and what they describe. Oh man, just got out of the shower. My hands are ashy. What they describe as masculine is their perspective. And I want you to understand something. Most women of modern times, because there's a lot of black women trying to, go after RP terminology to try to cast this off as. So just in modern, what I mean, they speak in a way that's if you are somebody that they approve as super masculine, then you're probably some beta guy that'll do whatever she tells you to do without asking any questions, or allow her to question everything that you come up with. I'm just going to be honest, right?
And we actually met at dance class, but he wasn't my physical type as far as being bald or a bodybuilder physique, but I just wanted to show the concept of actually coming to fall in love and love somebody fully. I can't see myself with anybody else now, especially somebody who was my physical type, because I think I've just kind of learned that for me as a woman, the looks don't really keep me warm at night or, pay for my future kids to go to private school.
Well, also, she's not that much of a looker either, right? It'd be crazy for her to be asking for something that she's not. And she'll never tell you, like, they're probably not going to ask her, what do you rate yourself? Because if she says anything above a 6, I mean, she's delusional as hell. Okay? If you're not much of a looker, then looks aren't going to be, it shouldn't be high on your, if you're being realistic and you're being fair. So let's be honest.
For example,
How
so
old are
I
you?
think that I'm 29.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you
So I
guys
think
getting married?
that-
Have you been proposed to, or?
I didn't even think about that. See, Rich
So
got
actually, we've been talking.
Rich got her. I didn't even think about that. She's hitting the wall. She's 29. So looks so maybe she may have been more attractive when she was younger. Her looks are fading, and now it's not as important to her anymore when it comes to her partner, right? But that's only because her looks are fading and she's getting close to the wall. It's like 29. Come on, see all that word salad. I like how he waited till after she said what she said. And then, how old are you? Oh, okay, yeah.
Talking
Gotcha.
about getting engaged and married in 2025.
You gotta smash that like button.
So you said that your clients are average age 30, but so all of those women are saving themselves for marriage and they have not laid with anybody before they came to you?
It's about 50-50, yeah.
The reason why he's asking this is because you know what it means when women are still in the market. They're not virgins. They're not saving themselves for marriage. They're out there getting it in. Then they'll say ridiculous things like, you shouldn't ask about body count. You're immature. And what does it matter who I used to be with? You got me right now. It does matter how many dicks you've sucked. What are you crazy? What? No. Stop talking reckless. Stop sucking dicks. Slow down. You know what I'm saying? You ladies need to slow down.
Okay.
Really, you've got 30-year-old
You can't really go
virgins
back
in
in
your
the
client
story.
list?
But I will say that naturally, most of them are considered born again virgins.
Born again
doesn't
virgin.
count.
Yep.
There we go. Yeah, that's not real.
That's not a real thing. Get them.
So
all.
Born
if you take those out, what's the actual split? Like
Born
true
again
virgins
virgin.
versus like non-virgins.
I don't know any true virgins.
Okay, ladies. All right. Now we need to go ahead and do this right. Let me go ahead and do this right. Okay, no, I don't want to do that. All right. There is no such thing to men as a born again virgin. Y'all keep trying to erase your past, and that's why you get upset with men that hold you accountable for it. All you have to do is keep your legs closed. You don't have a right to have a hoe face, just like a man ain't got the right to have a hobo face. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, you ain't got the right to have a hoe face, just like a man ain't got the right to have a hobo face. Let that man tell you he'd had a few hobo faces, and let's see how you look at him. Right? Because y'all be like, oh, well, if a guy, has a past and with women, that we can't use that because y'all don't care about that. We do. Y'all do, however, care about his consistency of making money. So if he has a history of consistently being broke and a hobo, you know what I'm saying? Couch surfing, whatever you want to call them, that's not going to make you feel like really wanting to invest in this person, would it? Like, you can't see, that's the biggest thing about what fembots do. They try to go with well, I don't mind what a man's past is. Y'all got to stop, putting yourselves in men's shoes. Like, we don't like the same things that y'all do. What attracts you as a woman to a man doesn't attract me to a woman. You know what I mean? No, what attracts you to a man as a woman doesn't attract me to a woman as a man. Like, y'all got to stop thinking that. That's why y'all keep presenting your wallets and your careers first, and we don't give a damn about none of that. Like, we want femininity, soft, fit, what KS used to say, right? So y'all have to stop thinking that what y'all want is the same thing that we want. And there's no dude talking about being a born-again virgin. The most we talk about doing is being celibate, but I'm not trying to erase my past. Just trying to present myself the best I can without having an attachment to coochie. Heal myself and put myself in the right path with God. Put God first. Coochie, second or third or whatever. Fourth. You know what I mean? So, look, stop saying this crazy stuff because you sound silly, and y'all are supposed to be full adults that are educated and independent and strong, and you sound like a bunch of goofy, immature, idiotic children. I'm just going to be real. That doesn't make any sense. A born-again virgin, where do they do that at? I want to know. Okay, I want to know. Want to know, man. It's getting rough out here, y'all.
Any.
Okay.
Not one.
Yeesh. Okay.
I know many women.
How does
can
one
tell
become
that-
born again virgin? Like, is this like, how does one go through this process of
Baptism.
losing their virginity again?
Want to see my V? And by V, I mean this V.
Oh, man.
See, as a woman,
bad,
if
y'all.
I'm talking to you and my
Let me switch
feet
to
are
my
pointed
paid
towards
account. Don't you ever do that in the middle of my stream again.
All right, guys, what's up? Another ladies' night. Moff, take it away,
Oh,
brother.
man, you ain't going to go back to where I left it off?
Yeah, ladies, thanks.
Let's see if I can guess.
It's coming out of the speaker. I'll mute my mic. Can you give me just a minute and I'll try to.
No. Oh,
I'm gonna date is gonna be my husband.
Okay.
But the advice is to essentially have them not have sex until they're married to that guy.
Yeah, I think
And
we're
become
here.
born again virgins. Like, are they?
Here we
Have they
go.
dated a lot of guys, or?
Actually, all of the women that I seem to attract they're always relationship type women. They really stay away from casual sex. Nobody that I'm close to follows promiscuity. They really would only
What?
make love inside of a committed relationship.
And how many
usually
committed
they're coming
relationships
out
are they
of
having?
longer-term
A year.
relationships or engagements where they're
This is what we call womanese. Hey, when y'all wonder what this is, that babbling string of nonsense she said without stopping to breathe or blink, that's womanese. Just a stream of thought, regurgitated, that don't make any sense, right? What does that mean? Were they married? Because, we have to have some kind of base here, because there's all kind of different definitions of dating, relationship. Boyfriend and girlfriend isn't recognized anywhere in law, nor is it recognized in the Bible. That's another made up term that we have, and it can be interpreted any kind of way. So when they just get on here and they just start babbling based off of the way that they think about stuff, not seeing if it's something that the consensus thinks says, it's weird to me. It's weird. She acts like everybody thinks like she does. And she acts like what she said made sense. A born-again virgin? What are you talking about? What do you, and they like to not be, or they like to not exercise promiscuity, and what, are they married? If they're not married and they're in these made up relationship titles that we give ourselves to justify shacking up and laying up with each other, then they are exercising promiscuity. Just not in the sense that y'all are trying to straddle the line here. Y'all do this weird thing. If you're not married and a divorced woman and you were married for X amount of years to the man that you gave your virginity to, or the first or second guy, then you're out here exercising promiscuity. You can veil it however you want to. I only had a few boyfriends a year. You're still a hoe. Man, shit.
Like, the next gentleman I'm gonna date is gonna be my husband.
Okay.
But the advice is to essentially have them not have sex until they're married to that guy.
Correct.
So
And
why
the
would
men
a
seem
guy
to be okay
pay
with
for
this.
something that she's given away for free to somebody
I
else?
know, man. Like, it don't make no sense.
Yeah, I definitely see that perspective as well.
And
Like,
what's your response
nobody wants
to
to pay
it?
more for a product or service that was given away for free to somebody else.
She says nothing to it. Her acknowledging what he says is supposed to be response enough, because she knows there is no babbling nonsense she can say, that's going to like make it make sense. This is what I'm talking about, dude. I'm so done with these American chicks and they shit. You just keep talking and you think it makes sense because your echo chamber of other women, but yeah, girl, yeah. No, it don't make no sense. That's why you don't have a man. That's why you don't have a husband.
You see what I'm saying?
I think at this point where they are in dating, the partners that they attract, it's going to be a gentleman who prefers a woman with, I like to say, the lowest head count in Orange County. So as compared to a true version at this point.
No, see, that's no. See, no, that is a situation, circumstance, and an economy that women set up. So because they're out here dogging themselves out, spreading themselves thin. Now we got to go for the woman with the lowest notch count. No, we'll just go overseas and go back on reset, right? Back to virgins and women with very little to no men, not the woman with the lowest. This is what they like to do. This is why they're mad at us for going overseas. They like to set up the economy the way it is to where we just have a bunch of modern women, spiritual women, a bunch of weirdos that are broken or whatever, have all these crazy pasts. But then they'll go and get degrees or whatever. And, since they're giving all this away to women nowadays, you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason, women are like, got money or whatever. And now they think that they can get the men that they want with their shady ass past, man. No, we're not reframing anything, man. We don't want women who are used up, and we're just going to take the least used up one. Because y'all decided to all be used up. We're not doing that. Stop talking like that. We're just going to go and exercise our options elsewhere. I can't believe she just said that. Well, they're going to have to go for the one with the lowest notch count. This is what you got, man. Leftovers trying to rebrand themselves.
So the disagreement that you have that you were talking about was with genuine burning desire, where it has to be there before you proceed with dating,
Yeah,
right?
smash that like button.
So the problem with that, as I've seen it evolve since I've written the book several years ago, is a lot of guys get into a marriage or a long-term relationship or some form of commitment that involves inviting her into his life, wife, girlfriend, live in something or another. And what often happens is women at that stage in their life don't get their first choice. They sometimes don't get their second or even third choice. They might end up settling for their fifth or sixth choice. And what ends up happening to those guys is they get destroyed later on down the road, 5, 6, 7, 10 years down the road. After they've been married, they've lived together long enough. She's entitled to half of his stuff. She can take the kids, give him the "I love you, but I'm not in love with you. I'm going to my mom's house this week and I want a divorce." That's the reason why I tell guys to ensure that she has a genuine burning desire for you. If it doesn't exist from the get-go, I don't think that you can convince her that it's something that she needs to have for you. It's got to be organic, right? You can't manufacture it. But you disagree with that, is what you're saying.
I think I mostly agree with you. I definitely have not been married yet where I'm at that point
Okay,
where
then.
I'm like, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, or,
This woman is a feminine energy dating coach, but she's never been married. What they are they're a shoulder to cry on coaches. I'm going to give you the wordplay you need to make yourself feel better about the situations you put yourself in. You let that sink in. You know what I'm saying? Let that sink in. Because that's what they really do. Just play with words, just like a lot of women online do. to make themselves into a victim while we're all completely responsible for our own lives. And if we're not going to take responsibility for our lives, be it the good and the bad, then we shouldn't be speaking on things. We shouldn't be speaking on, because no telling what's going to come out of your mouth. You don't want to even take accountability. So it's about wearing layers of mask and just babbling in a way that doesn't sound like babble. Because when you think about what they're saying, it makes no sense. It's not based in any type of reality. It's just her in her mind, and then whatever's in her mind speaking in a way that might sound trending to other women.
Whatever I have loyalty wise just isn't enough to sustain, because there's somebody who I have genuine burning. Because I mean, it's totally a possible scenario that I understand happens in marriages. In my experience, my relationship taught me that you can fall in love even if you aren't in love at first sight.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that pans out for you and your clients as time passes on, I guess, right?
Sure thing.
Let's Kendall just came in. Let's do a quick introduction for Kendall. Hey Kendall. Oh my goodness. Are you like at a restaurant or something?
Yes, can you hear the music in the background?
So yeah, it's so
Yeah.
bad in the background.
The music is overpowering.
Yeah.
I don't think my headphones are working. They're connected, but it's coming.
But we can keep on going. Okay. I mean, there's another thing we want to talk about in Jacqueline's realm, but we'll kind of go around to a different topic. And again, ladies, if you have things to chime in on, I mean, I want to see what the rest of the panel thinks about that. I mean, are you going to go after a guy that you're not attracted to? Are you going to, is it something that you'd rather wait and see? And
I think the
see if it
question needs
develops
to be
later.
how important is initial attraction to the ladies that aren't Jackie right now?
I will
mean,
say,
for
I
me,
think it has to be there.
Danielle, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. I was going
I-
to say, I think there has to be somewhat of an initial attraction. However, as women, we thrive on the emotional connection, right? So when we start to build that emotional connection, it makes that person become more attractive to us with time. But if there's no initial attraction, it's not going to magically happen for you down the road.
Catherine, you had something?
I'm definitely going to agree with her. Like, it's looks that get you, that bring you up to that person, but it's like what's inside that keeps you over time, at least when you get to a certain point in life, for me. But yeah, absolutely, I have to have attraction, but I'm
See?
not just looking at like, oh, like that's like a really attractive man, like how does he treat other people? And I get like men can come up to me where I'm like, no, thank you, sir, and could be phenomenal people, and maybe I'll give them a chance, but absolutely, I'm gonna want someone that takes care of themselves, eats properly, likes to be active, because I see that in the long run, and they're investing in themselves and like their health. And so for me, that already keys me in, like they're going to be like a good, like long-term partner and take care of their health. Because if I am going to be married to someone, I don't want to be married to someone who's a slob that eats a bunch of fast food and I have to like worry about him having a heart attack. Like that doesn't vibe with me. So.
Who else?
Just go across the bottom, Luna.
I definitely agree with all the ladies. For me, this year was kind of like that year where I'm like, I need to start dating out of my type, because the ultimate end goal is marriage, and I don't think I would be able to
Smash that like button, y'all.
have a relationship or a long-lasting relationship if I'm only attracted to them physically and not emotionally. So yeah, it's just things like that I've considered this year.
Hey, do we really? I was talking to my dad about this, y'all, and I'm if you don't know, I'm 40, and my dad obviously had me around the time that he was 30, because he's 70, just turned that the other day. Shout out to my Sagittarius is out there. If you didn't know that, now you know. My dad's a Sag. He does not play. He will cut you off real quick. You wonder where my cutoff game came from? That's where it came from. I think people underestimate Leos. Y'all really don't know how we work. We really like chameleons, man. Anybody around us, we can pick up on whatever they do. And we can pick it up, man. You know what I'm saying? And then we just add it to our repertoire. Anyway, man, we're talking about, are we looking for like long-term, like long-term really? Are we just looking for somebody to just chill with? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lady that's disease free, and because I'm telling you, man, out here in the States, I'm talking to my dad about it, and he feels the same way. He ain't looking for another Margaret Young. He ain't gonna find one. She's looking for, you know what I mean, chick to have a good time with. You don't need to get that serious. Them talking about looking for a long term, and listen, if you've already given me the draws a few times, and then you want to start making it serious, I don't care. That's why I'm telling you, looks are important. Looks are important. If the way she's talking is a guy like looks good to her, then gotten the draws a few times, and now she's like, oh well, I don't know. Well, listen, he already done got the draws, man. You know, he ain't looking for the drama that comes along with you and whatever relationship type of status you're looking for. I'm just being real, but I'm just not making it worth us wanting to date you. So when y'all give it up like y'all do, and you're gonna give it up to somebody you find attractive, why worry about long-term anything? 9 times out of 10, eventually long-term you're gonna change your mind, and you know, like they said, want a divorce or want to separate or whatever. So why should we care about long-term? You're gonna give us the draws in the beginning, so what's up? Y'all just be babbling, man. We don't even care anymore. We don't care.
Year, and I feel like this year, like I've seen a lot of progress in my dating life.
But how do you go about that?
Sorry, I didn't get the age. How old are you?
I'm 21.
21, okay.
Yeah, so super young. But
Sorry,
how
Mark,
do
go
you
ahead.
go about? Sorry, like
Well, I'm just saying, how do you go about dating outside of your type? I mean, if you're not attracted to a guy, I mean, what draws you to him in the first place then? I mean, so like, are we talking about dating outside of my type is I'm going for guys that I'm not attracted to? I'm trying to make sure we drill down on
I
what
feel
we're,
like
'cause again, you said we're single too, so I don't know. I mean,
Right.
how well is it working out for you?
Nah,
I feel like
Got
not
'em.
necessarily.
Got
I
'em.
feel like because I'm like super like young. I grew up in a very conservative household actually, so I wasn't able to start dating until I was like 18, which was like only 3 years
Based.
ago now that I think about it. And so the type of guys that I would go for back then would be like athletes or like, you know, people who are very like in shape, and like those are still the type of guys that like I go for, but not just athletes. Like I still want someone that I'm attracted to, and someone that's you know, takes care of themselves, because I'm very big on health and wellness. So I wouldn't go for someone
So what's the
who it's like
difference?
what Catherine said is like a slob and like eats like shit. Like I wouldn't go
But
for
I'm
someone.
I'm failing to understand like how you're dating outside of your type.
That's
Like you
still
say
your
you like
type.
athletes and you like
She's
attractive
just going
guys that
for a
take care of
better version of
themselves.
her type.
But
Well,
how have you gone outside of that? Like who have you dated that hasn't fit that mold, and like how has that worked out for you?
This is
can
just
I
kind of
ask
like
a
an
question?
example. Sorry. This is kind of just
Sorry.
like, yeah, you can go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, because I also want to differentiate. Like, there's like the appearance type, and then
Yeah.
like also like what if it's personality type?
Personality,
So like,
yeah.
which point are like we also like touching base on?
No, there's only one point. No, you're just trying to. She's trying to muddy the water like they always do, right? You start splitting hairs. No, you don't know nothing about this man's personality from initial contact. When you watch my TikTok and you see the thumbnail, you're not able to gauge my personality off of that. And if you think you can, then you're a fool. You're very immature, and you think that you're some type of god that can intuitively tell just by looking at someone one time that no. You're a fool. I wouldn't want a foolish female like that around me anyway. But what I'm saying to you is, how are you able to tell a personality or character off of the initial engagement with someone? No, it's how you physically found them attractive. So what they're doing is they don't want to, women never want to give you a straight answer, and they never want to have you thinking that it's, you know, something as simple as you being attractive, what's going to bring them in. But this is what we talk about when I say, this is what they say, but what they do will be something completely different. The hot guy will get the draws. All this online babbling for, I forgot, I think Rich says it on here, something about credibility protection, or they're worrying about, you know, how people perceive them. So this is why they give you this womanese crap. They ain't gonna get drunk with their girls. Ever heard of white girl wasted? and then go home with the hot guy and blame it on her boyfriend. He had me in a bad place and I was drunk and the guy was saying that. No, you did what you wanted to do. And that's what I'm talking about. This is what they try to do, man. Just pay attention.
Yeah. I feel like I've gone out more of like the look side, but I'm still kind of going for like the same like personality. And this is just an example. Like, for example, like I was into like black guys at first, and then now like, you know, I started dating like people of like other races. Like that's kind of like what I mean.
Yeah. Hey, look at his face. Look at their faces. Look at their faces. Even the snow bunnies. Look at their faces in here. They're all like, "Why would you say that? Why would you say that on a panel full of white guys? You're ruining yourself." Well, so you think these white guys are going to be like, "Oh, well, you know, you just used to date niggers back in the day." No, they're going to be like, "What? The hell? Well, you're ruined. We can't do nothing with you. Just hop your ass back over their fence." I'm telling you, why would you say that? I used to date black guys. You hop your whatever you are, you know, racially ambiguous ass back on over to black guys, because these white guys are not gonna like that. I'm telling you straight up, man. You know, if a white guy, why do you think that white women try to keep that a secret, man? You better start paying attention to your surroundings. Situational awareness is not there, sweetheart. A little bit too young now. You know what I mean? Acting naive. You're on a panel with a couple of traditional good old boys. Well, I think he's Canadian, but you know, they ain't trying to hear that, man. They're not that liberal. You got lost, didn't you? You forgot where you were. Well, look at their faces. They're reminding you. He's even shot like, whoa, what'd you say? You say black guys?
So it still only has to do with physical attraction and what you see on the surface. That's all I'm hearing.
She's trying to get slick. She's trying to slickly say, like, I used to only date black guys, but now I'm into white guys and other races of men that are fit as well. That's what she's trying to say. But he's just like, dude, so you still like fit guys, right? You know, whether you dating black guys or not, you still like fit guys. But she's trying to get across, like, there's this huge difference between fit black guys and they're all fit guys, man. They're all fit guys. She's trying to differentiate, but it's not that. They're just like, yo, listen, so you still like fit guys. Just you, but now you want to taste the rainbow, right?
For me, it's like less on like the physical. I'm still going for guys who have like that personality, because like when you first meet someone, you could still kind of like, you know,
What's going on here?
You're not just looking at like or when you have like that initial conversation with someone, you can kind of already have an idea of like what kind of like person that they are. So that also like draws me like to them as well.
Okay. I don't know if I got an answer, but I think we're going to move on. Danielle, you said something about gender roles within a marriage and a relationship, and you wanted to talk about that. So you've said that you're freshly married, 7 months, but you see it as 50-50. You currently do it 50-50. You both work. And you mentioned that you don't plan on quitting work, or you plan to still work even after you're a mother and have kids. So what did you want to delve into as far as that?
I've watched a couple of your episodes in the past, and I know that you guys seem to have a traditional mindset on that. And so I don't know if I have a specific topic about that I want to bring up. More so just it seemed kind of something that I wanted to discuss further, like what your thoughts are on that, and then I can probably come back with like my thoughts of your thoughts.
Quick question. How old is your husband?
Okay. Pause.
He's 24.
Pause. This is what they like to do. Women do not come up with original thought. I hear so many women online using my words and stuff, but from a woman's perspective, she needs to hear what he has to say to have a counter. They counter punch. They don't come. They don't want to sit. If she gave her thought right now, she knows that they will rip it apart. She wants to hear what he's saying so she can gauge how to word things. I would never give it to her. I'd be like, no, just go ahead and say what you have to say. Yeah, I promise I'll be gentle. No, you're not going to be. I'm not going to let you do that. I'm not gonna let you, even though I could still destroy her, after she's heard what I said. That's all they want to do. They just want to bicker and go back and forth. She don't want to give her original thought right now because she knows that it's going to probably sound in a way that he can tear it apart. He's going to still do it, but she wants to be able to feel like she can. Why do you want women that want to do stuff like this, man? They can't even think for themselves. She needs to wait till he puts out his thoughts so she can caveat off of that and pivot from it.
Okay. And how long have you known him before you got married?
4 years, 3 years.
Your
3 and
first,
a half.
or was it your first?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And your plan is to have family, children, but right now you guys are sort of splitting roles.
Yeah.
What are you going to do when you're a mom and you've got a baby to deal with? Are you still going to split the roles? Then?
My goal is to put them in daycare probably, or stay at home until they are old enough to go to school and then start working again.
No, what she said first was her initial thought. When he said, "Ooh," you see what I'm saying? See, this is what they do. You gotta watch everything, right? Her first thought was put him in daycare. When he said, "Ooh," it triggered something in her mind because all these women do is watch Red Pill podcasters. So she's like, "Ooh, gotta correct that." I would stay home until you see what I'm saying? No. Your initial thought, you want a stranger watching them as opposed to you doing the traditional role that women do by staying at home. See, it's more so about them trying to redefine roles than about anything else. You got to pay attention to these goofy ass, modern women, dude. They swear up and down they're saying something. They swear they're saying something and don't be saying anything, especially anything that's going to help them get a man. I'm telling you, man, so easy to tear what they say apart.
Again.
Or she might let me watch them too.
Two different paths.
It doesn't
Are
matter.
you guys friends?
That's her sister trying to save her, right? She's her sister saying that, I'll watch her. She should keep her goofy ass at home and watch the children she just gave birth to. Why are you trying to pawn them off on somebody else to get back to your job and your entrepreneurship or whatever crap you're doing? Why is that so much more important to you than being there firsthand to raise the children that you and your husband, came together and made? Y'all are lost. You can kiss our ass. We're going overseas, man. This is trash.
Close by,
difference.
Anna and Danielle?
We're
Sisters.
sisters.
Oh, sisters.
Yeah, we're
Oh.
sisters.
Okay. Well,
Because I'm
Forgot to mention
a full-time nanny.
there we
right
go.
now.
Sisters side by side.
Thanks.
I love kids, so
Yeah.
both of my sisters, if they live close to me when they have kids, I would watch them
I can tell you
Awesome.
something else.
for sure.
I can tell you something else. This lady over here in the corner, this Catherine, she's the oldest one in there. She looks the most bitter. She's making the most gestures with her eyes and facial expressions. And this is what y'all do when y'all get older, by the way. This is all you become. A bunch of facial expressions and eye gestures. Like it means something to. We're not women. We don't care. We just see like, okay, you're a fool. You can't control your emotions. You have to make sure that someone sees your emotional state in some capacity. It don't work out for you idiots, man. I'm telling you, dude.
Do you think that
I
daycare is a
would
good idea
say-
for children, though?
You mean to put them? What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm just curious on your opinion on daycare because the first thing you said was I put them in daycare. So I'm just wondering, what are your thoughts on daycare? Is that something that you're comfortable with?
It's something I've gone back and forth about. The organization that I work for right now is a Christian
pivoting.
college, and they have a daycare that's associated with them that I would be comfortable with. However, if we started moving and working somewhere different, then I wouldn't be comfortable with that, and I would probably take a few years off of work until my kids were old enough.
When they can pivot and caveat off, you can never pin them down with anything. She's just changing and moving the goal. She's just changing her story and adding to it. She should have gave them this context in the initial time that she said what she had to say. No one rushed her through it. Yeah, I believe in daycare because the job I have, woo, 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 and I trust them, woo, 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 and my sister's a nanny, woo, woo, woo. Why did he have to keep drilling into things for you to give us some context? Because she's not even thinking on that level. She's just going off the different layers of questioning that he's given her. She's not even thinking on that deep of a level. Just because you can come up with something when somebody says something to you don't mean you thought about it before like that, really. I'm sorry. But these women just don't. They just don't.
To go to school.
Right. Okay.
What does your husband think of that?
Yeah.
He agrees with me.
How many kids you guys want to have?
Probably just 1 or 2. I also plan to adopt, but not for much further down the road.
Why adopt?
Just because there's such a big need for it, and I really feel called to that to help those kids.
There's no way her husband's okay with her adopting kids instead of making their own. This woman is running that relationship. It's a sad, sad world we live in, man. Look, she's running that relationship. Women feel fulfilled when they're conquering a man. When they're single by themselves, they're just miserable. But if they can conquer a man because they can't conquer nothing else, then they really be feeling fulfilled. They'll never get out in life and conquer life and manage to find a man to submit to. But if they can just conquer a man, destroy a man's soul and his natural instincts on being a man, they really feel fulfilled. And then get to babble about it online about how they've conquered some male.
Why?
Because they have gone through so much and been so mistreated.
Yeah, but I mean, you're young.
That's some kind of childhood trauma projected. Her wanting to adopt kids is some type of childhood trauma projected, right? Some kind of way she was done wrong as a child, and now she can do something about it. Why are you still holding on to that? There's something to do with it. People don't just normally say, I want to adopt children. No, you had some traumatic experience as a child, man. And you don't hear that unless it's a celebrity that's adopting some African baby. Some white celebrities adopting African babies so they can, expand their portfolio and seem like they're just such a humanitarian. Yeah, we on to y'all and y'all doing that goofy ass shit. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no doggone sense. Hell, you doing adopting an all black baby? Well, y'all aren't taking care of them, man. Yeah, I'm glad that you're doing it. I'm glad you're doing something. But it's still weird. It's still weird. Let some black folks go and adopt an all white baby. Hey, CPS gonna be at your door. I can guarantee that on a regular basis.
You've got the ability to mother a whole bunch of kids. There's 40, 50, year old people out there that would love to adopt because they can't have kids. Why not have your own children?
I still want to have my own children. I just don't want to have a ton of them. I grew up in a family that we had 7 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I think while that was great, and my parents are amazing,
childhood trauma.
That's not the lifestyle that I personally would want.
Childhood trauma projected. That's what you got to know about these women's past. She's terrified of not giving, in a way, the proper attention she feels like she can give if she has fewer children. Apparently, she feels like the 7 kids, some of them were neglected. Childhood trauma, man. I'm telling you.
So I'm curious about that. So, we live in a world today where women are having fewer children than ever, right? I mean, like the replacement rate has to be 2.1 kids per couple to replace the aging, dying off population in North America. I think in the States it's 1.5, in Canada it's 1.4. Pretty much all around the globe, Europe, Asia, Australia, South America, Central America, none of those countries are at the replacement rate. I think Africa is the only country that's well above it. Like there's certain countries in Africa where it's 6 or 7. So they're outperforming us in that regard.
Yes, we all know the mortality rates amongst Caucasians is going down. And we know that the mortality rate amongst Negroid and Black African people is staying the same or going up. We are not having those same issues, okay? Y'all aren't the only groups of people noticing it. Us goofy Negroes are noticing it too, okay? Okay? Yeah, we thinking, y'all, hey, listen, we seeing it. We see it too.
Young woman that is now married and you want to have kids, like, why stop it too?
Honestly, the biggest reason is the economy and the fact that right now we're barely able to make ends meet with 2 incomes, and we have a pretty small place right now. So as we work our way up, in our careers and we're able to make more income, then we'll start having kids. But obviously we're not in a place to do that right now. And I don't envision ourselves getting to a place.
So she thinks that it's better for her to wait till she's further in her career. Remember, she's running the show before she decides to start having kids instead of doing it in her prime, younger years of in her 20s, where she can handle that baby and probably handle whatever else without getting as stressed out or feeling overwhelmed. but she feels like it's best. It's her, obviously her way of thinking, the woman way of thinking, the modern woman way of thinking. I'm going to wait till I get further along in my career, make some more money, and then as I'm older, I'll feel like having more children. As I'm closer towards, the place in my life where I can't really have kids anymore. Yeah, menopause, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, dude, these women, they're really not thinking things in the same way you are as far as starting a legacy. Their legacy is their work and whatever goofy entrepreneurship they got going on. Really, just bragging rights to other women is really what they're only concerned about.
$500 a year?
What's that?
Would you have a bunch more if he was making $500,000 a year?
Yeah, I would be open to having more
Okay, so it's a money
if
issue.
I knew that I could support them.
Yeah. Is that
Or
the
is it
same
important for you to work?
Too?
I want to ask
Sorry.
really quick. Like, Danielle, is it like important for you to work? Like, I mean, I want like if your husband made enough to support the whole family, would you quit your job, or would you still want to work and do a 40-hour week job?
If he made enough, I would not want to work 40 hours. However, I write for my career,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
very
she wants to keep
important to
doing
me.
it.
So I would
Yeah,
probably
see.
do freelance
See?
writing on the side.
See, gentlemen, it's always about what's important to them first. See, with all the babbling, circle talking, BS, the bottom line is she wants to make sure that she is taken care of first. Everything that she has ever wanted to do on her own is taken care of before her obligation as a wife to the man and the family that she's supposed to be building with them. So what's the point in getting married to a person so that she can sit there and work on her individual pursuits before the marital pursuits? That's why y'all came together. See, they just want the look. They want the look of a marriage and look like they have their life complete while they do their own little weird things and cheat and everything else. They want that look for society and other women that's, okay, you got a man, but they really want to be able to say, well, I'm doing what I want to do. He ain't got me. It's too much, man. That dude can't be happy unless he's, like I said, a beta type of guy who wants a woman running his life. There's no way he's that happy with a woman talking like this.
Okay.
So I was going to ask the rest of the panel, like, how do you all feel about kids and the number of kids that you want to have?
I know that my partner and I have talked about having 2, and that I definitely personally don't believe in daycare. I want to make sure that my children are loved all day. So I would not outsource that. And it's really important for my partner to be a provider. And that's what he had in his parents. And actually his parents had.
She's so pissed. Look at her eyes. When that woman threw that shade, she blinked so slow, looked down, then looked back up. Oh my goodness. Oh. That was so sweet. Oh man. Whew. That gave me an energy boost right there. The way she just smoothly shaded her. Oh. Chef's kiss, baby. I like that.
An arranged marriage, and I feel like I have nothing but respect for that. And it's our goal that if we get married, that we keep the family together and definitely don't get divorced. Just like a lot of arranged marriages commit to staying together. So that's our take on kids.
This woman's growing on me.
The rest of the gals on the panel.
I want kids in the future.
Yeah. Anna?
I definitely want kids, but it needs to be for me with the right man. Like, I'm not just going to have kids with a man if I don't think that he would be a good dad and be around. But have I thought in the future, like,
why would you, excuse me, who else would you have kids with? Like, what are you talking about? You're vetting them. Of course, you're supposed to be a responsible man. What other kind of man would you be having children with? What that don't even make any sense. You just said something to say something.
you know, like, it's gonna be so silly, but like there are like women that go out and, you know, they like go to like a clinic and they get pregnant and then they raise their kid. Or if I'm also very pro adoption. I work very closely with foster care kids throughout like my life. And I just know the statistics. So at some point, like whether there's a man or not, like I know like I will have kids, whether that's through adoption or not, just because statistically, I think it would be a beautiful thing to be.
They're also pushing a new agenda here. I just peep game. They're trying to push a new agenda for the women that are going to be over the wall, and they're past their point of being able to have kids. They're trying to put the idea of adoption out there into the ether, so it can be something else that women say whenever we're like, well, you know, you're getting close to 35, and you know what I'm saying, geriatric type of pregnancies, and well, I'll just adopt, and that's just as good. And no, it's not. That's not your kid. You didn't make that kid. You can make this. If an adopted kid means as much to you as a child that you gave birth to, then the child you gave birth to don't mean shit to you. Okay? It don't mean shit to you. Y'all are weird as hell, man. Trying to make these. Y'all are so weird.
Able to adopt a child and like ensure like they have a brighter future than like what could have been possible if they were bounced around to different foster care homes or orphanages. So yeah, because fun fact, only 3% of former foster youth actually go on to get their bachelor's. So
Okay.
okay.
And what about Anna and Luna? Like, what's
Sorry,
your-
I got a quick question there.
No,
Catherine, you said that the guy has to be a good father. What's a good father to you? What does he have to do to be a good father?
Exactly.
Let me just put that on hold for a sec. We'll come back to Catherine on the good father question because I was thinking about that too, but I want to hear from Anna and Luna too.
Oh, for me, how many kids I want? When I was younger, it was like 10, but now it could be anywhere from 3 to 10. I want at least 3, but I wouldn't really mind having more. But I would have to see first how the first pregnancy went, because if it's really painful, then I'd like for sure want less. But if it wasn't really that bad, then more would be okay.
Okay. What about you, Luna?
I've kind of always been that same way. Like, I want pretty much as many as like realistic. So like if my partner had a good job and everything and they can support and be a good father and everything, like I would want as many as realistically possible. I used to say like a number like 3 or something, but just like more than 2 probably. And I actually also, I'm like big in supporting adoption as well. I was actually in foster care. I like aged out of the system.
Foster care, more childhood trauma. So now whoever she gets with is going to have to relive her foster care experiences over and over and over, because this woman feels like she needs to go and save someone because no one saved her. Anyway, y'all, I'm not going to hold y'all any longer. I think I watched the whole 3 hours because, you know, it gets better. I'm going to do another video with this particular panel they have going on. You don't hear a bunch of women. There's another panel they had where the women were getting outrageous and Rich had to like tell one of them to be quiet. But you're not hearing a bunch of women talking over men. You know, they're saying they're outrageous little whatever they feel and think, but it's not being projected and blasted over as the men are trying to get their points out. For the most part, they're being respectful towards each other, not cutting each other off. There's not a whole lot of shade being thrown. It's just exactly how they feel, and, you know, they're giving their rebuttals to it. It's not like it's all this coded language with, you know, all men this and all men that, and so there's a way to do this, a civil way, without all the discourse and the hyena-ness going on in a lot of these other panels, because as much as the person that's running the channel thinks that's entertaining, it keeps your views up, where everybody loves to watch a train wreck. But that doesn't mean it is something that people are going to watch over and over and really get something out of. Y'all let these women get on these panels and talk reckless. Throw a bunch of shade and you barely say anything back to them because you're trying to appear stoic. There's nothing stoic about someone just speaking a bunch of nonsense and you not checking it. You know, there's nothing stoic about you letting someone run you over. There's nothing stoic about that. You know what I mean? Maybe it makes you look good to women, but you have to pick a side. Because a lot of these women out here are out of control. They don't really care about you. So you want to continue to pander to them, or you want to make a change with the men that are out here that are trying to, you know, get these women in check? Yeah, you can pick a side, man. Anyway, I'm your brother, and I love you. You guys smash that like button. Let's talk about it in the comments. You agree, disagree, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Anything. You can talk about anything in the comments. Just check in. You know what I'm saying? If you're from the Carolinas, check in. Anywhere in the States or overseas. You know, I'm moving to Thailand. You know what I'm saying? You overseas people, check in. You know what I mean? But make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell. If you're on Facebook, make sure that you follow, you know, you guys, and comment on whatever I post. You know what I mean? I'm trying to grow that Facebook out. So, and if you're not following me on Facebook, you should do that. King David the Chosen. Anyway, love and light. I'm out.
In this game,
let's go.
You gotta have that dog in you.
Made in America.